Leo.
Yeah?
You run your own business, right?
I like to think so.
What would you say is the most important element for you to gain a competitive advantage?
I guess the quality of my customer service.
Good call. Did you know a recent survey showed that most Australian businesses feel that way?
Well, it makes sense.
And a major threat to that is an increase in English language literacy and numeracy issues.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know 46% of working-age Australians have difficulty with reading skills and 53% have difficulty with numeracy?
So almost half of Australia's workforce can't read?
Well, a lot of them can read, but have problems understanding and communicating information. In fact, a lot of them are highly educated. That can often make the issue worse.
How's that?
Let's say you have someone working for you that has recently moved to Australia from another country and English isn't their first language. They can speak it very well, but they might have difficulties understanding certain things. But they're well educated, highly educated in a lot of these cases, and admitting the issue is just too embarrassing. So they don't seek out help. There have been cases in the healthcare industry where a simple lack of understanding, say the difference between milligrams and millilitres, has resulted in a fatal dosage being administered.
That's pretty bad.
It sure is. And it's not an issue that's restricted to people from non-English speaking backgrounds. Many people with language literacy and numeracy issues are born and educated in Australia, but they have simply missed out on developing these skills because of a whole range of reasons.
But my business doesn't deal in life or death scenarios.
Well, look at it this way. The more insecure your staff feel, the lower your productivity and the higher your staff turnover. One company found that after tailoring a language literacy and numeracy program for their staff, they had a 40% decrease in staff turnover and an almost $150,000 increase in savings. More importantly, the staff were happy and motivated.
And provided better customer service?
Exactly. Another trial used the Australian Core Skills Framework to assess the impact of language literacy and numeracy training on various participants. This trial showed a 38% increase in communication core skills and a 64% increase in learning core skills. Imagine how much more efficiently and effectively staff with improved learning and communication skills could pass information on to other staff members. That would substantially decrease your on-the-job training times and increase your potential talent pool. It would also help create a safe work environment.
Numeracy becomes really important when it comes to any kind of measurements and ratios of things, particularly in medications.
Anna started caring for Mr. Johnson 6 months ago. She was initially employed to help out around the house, run his errands and make sure he takes his medication. In that time, he has come to depend on her, not just for the help around the house, but for the company she provides. They share the same dry sense of humour. When she started, his medication was simple: 2 pills at 10 a.m. and 2 again at 3 p.m. Recently, however, his medication has changed and his new medication comes in liquid form. He needs to take 200 milligrams at a ratio of 100 milligrams per 5 millilitres. She has managed to hide it from her co-workers, but Anna doesn't know the difference between milligrams and millilitres. So she pours out an amount that is 40 times the actual dosage, potentially fatal. It can be confronting to have to admit areas in which you have difficulties, but the consequences if you don't can be much worse. Instead of hiding, Anna talks to her employer about the difficulties she's having. She's a good worker and they don't want to lose her, so they organise a numeracy course tailored to her specific needs. When Mr. Johnson's medication changes, she is confident and prepared, leaving Mr. Johnson to get on with his joke.
I like to use the analogy that probably 30 years ago, workplace health and safety was not something that workplaces took as seriously as they do today. And whereas today it's part of every workplace and a very important part of that, I think also that language literacy and numeracy, and perhaps by a different name, perhaps communication, to look at the broadness of it, needs to be part of every workplace.
How can I implement that in my business?
The first thing you should do is get involved with the Workplace English Language and Literacy, or WELL program. It's a flexible program that's tailored to the specific needs of your workforce.
I don't think I can afford that.
It's 75% government funded, and it's an investment in your staff and the future of your company. What you should ask yourself, Leo, is how can you afford not to?
Well, what's my next step?
There's a range of things you can do. Contact your Industry Skills Council or your state training bodies for more advice, or go to Australian Government Skills Connect.